Hi, this is Mr. Cordes, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk and discuss about the article reviews for our novel. You have taken some time to start reading your novel. You've done some preliminary background information about your author and kind of the time period and where he or she is from. Now we're going to look outside of the novel at articles. And in the academic world, in the literature world, people write commentary and reviews on those novels. So while Night, Things Fall Apart, and The Joy Luck Club are fantastic reads, there are lots of critics and scholars who actually write articles and reviews and criticisms on those books. So our goal today is to find those outside sources, those additional voices that can add to the conversation. So sure, we have a book about Night and the Holocaust, but we want to find out what other people are saying about this text, whether that's good or bad. Things Fall Apart, great piece of African history. However, there are reviews, criticisms, articles that we want to read and discuss with our book. Same with the Joy Luck Club. Tons of people have come and talked about this book and have written reviews. We want to see how that applies to our novel. So if you look in front of me, the article coincides with the attachments that you see. It says the purpose of this assignment is to research and find articles that have been written about your book and author. Other critics and scholars have created commentary to help you, the reader, that's you guys, better understand the story and writer. There's a lecture video, which I'm recording right now, that you guys will watch. But more importantly, I want you to actually, let me click on this. If you click on the article review example and the article review assignment, you'll get two documents. So this is the assignment. The purpose here is, again, to find out information about your novel. So you're not going into your text. You're finding an article that was written about your text. All right. So I gave you an example here. If we were reading Lord of the Flies, which we did in first semester, we also read the article Power and Authority, which was by David Spitzer, or Spitz, which is a very unfortunate name. So he wrote about that text. And so we have our opportunity to write an article review about that article. We are reviewing the articles that are written about our book. So for this assignment, you will review, critique, and evaluate at least 3 different articles pertaining to your author and or book. So you have a variety. So you could find things on just your text. You could find articles just on your book, or you could find articles on your author. I would suggest kind of combining them. Of course, you're going to kind of see what comes up. It says, follow the steps, which I've listed below. Take notes and write up your article reviews along with proper MLA citation. Okay. So when you do this, one of the very first things that you're going to do is conduct that internet search. Google Scholar, like I've mentioned before, is the best place to start. So if I come over here to Google Scholar, it's what this does is it takes me to websites like academic type websites, school library databases. It brings up other things. So if I'm going to look for an article, and you can see I've got the little article item icon pushed, I'm going to type in Things Fall Apart. Okay. I'm going to go through, and finally, one, I have to decipher is the item that they're giving to me the book itself, like this right here is the actual book. Okay. There's other things in here, like we need to kind of make sure that we're looking for stuff that's specific. So if you write the Joy Luck Club, let's type that in. Okay. I'm going to get over here, like here's some citation stuff. Here's a WordPress. Here's a journal article. However, if I kind of read the first part, I understand that it's not about our novel. Constructing the order of the critical reading of Joy Luck Club. So maybe this might be interesting. So I'm going to click on this. And this brings me to an article. Okay. it says, this article is a critical reading of the movie Joy Luck Club. All right. So more than likely in here, it's going to compare and talk and discuss about the film along with the novel. So would this be a viable source? Absolutely. I'm over here at this academic journal, Howard Journals of Communication. So it's a viable source. Okay. If I come down here, here's another one, Memory and Ethnic Self, reading Amy Tan's Joy Luck Club. That's another one. We're looking to see, what do these articles state? What do these articles talk about that I can bring in to this academic conversation? Okay. So let me say, let's type in Night by Elie Wiesel. And some of them are going to be the books. Okay. The first couple are the books. So I'm going to go, The Hazards of the Holocaust. Okay. Memorial Edition. If I keep coming down, there's other related searches. Sometimes the literary criticism is a good button to press as well, because then you get things that are pulling the text apart. So if you look for literary criticisms, that would actually help you as well. Okay. So for our, here we go. It says, take notes according to the required questions, which are listed below. You're going to gather your necessary information and put it into proper MLA citation. So let's say I've got my article, okay? Whatever novel I'm reading, I've got my article. And I need to find 3, so I'm going to do this 3 times. When you are writing your article review, you'll answer the following questions. So what is the article about? Giving us a 3, 4, 5 sentence synopsis or summary. Okay. What is the author's thesis statement? What are they trying to prove? What are they trying to explain? What new insights did the article bring to your novel and author? Okay. Is this a valid and credible article? Is this something found in a journal? Is this something that is published? Is this something that is like in the academic world, in education? Now, when I say that, that means like if I Google, let's say I Google Lord of the Flies, just like I did before, okay? And we come up with articles, but then there's like a website from Miss Miller's 10th grade class in Kansas. You know, that's not a viable source. Yes, does she have information that's valid? Sure. She's not published. She's just putting out things on the internet for her classroom. Like there's not any validity to it. So when it asks, is this article valid and credible? Who are the authors? Is it Miss Miller in Kansas who's writing this, or is it a professor at a university? Okay, is it a published writer? Right? Those are the things we want to look for. The very last question, was the article helpful? Okay, or was it not helpful? It's okay to have an article that is not helpful for you. So why, and then obviously you need to explain why or why not. So when you get this, you're going to be putting your items in proper MLA format. So right here, you'll notice this is for our Lord of the Flies article. I put it in proper MLA citation. So I've got my author, I've got my title. Okay, this right here is the larger work in which it's found, the information about where it's found, and then the URL address. So there's a lot of information that you need to gather. It's not just the title and the author. If you need help or assistance with this, we can go back to what we studied in first semester with our grammar unit and MLA unit and look at OWL Purdue. That would be a good resource for us. So in each article, you're going to be doing this 3 times. In each article, you've got a synopsis, a summary, okay? You've got the article's thesis statement, the explanation of the author's commentary and analysis. So what do they talk about? What do they discuss? And then you've got your review. Is this article helpful? Why or why not? Is it a valid source? How does it add to the conversation about your book? All of this, when you put this all together, you will hit a paragraph. If you put this in narrative form, writing out your sentences, you will have a quality paragraph. Okay. So as you read through, I also gave you an example. In the first part, I gave you an example of, L. Frank Baum and the Wizard of Oz. Now I'm taking a moment to do an article review. I found an article called The Great and Powerful Oz by Audrey Quinn. And so that article discusses the life of my author. Okay, it talks about what our author did, what his life was like in history, and then at the very bottom, I said, even here at the very, look at my last sentence. Quinn's information is extremely helpful for readers gathering historical information about the author, especially on how the author's life contributes to the creation of the story. I also have this component right here as well, which is my citation. So if I was to Google this, I would be able to find the article, be able to pull it up and like look at your references. So essentially, you'll be doing this 3 times for your book or for your author. Okay. So the article reviews, your first task and go through the steps, just like I mentioned before. Go through Google Scholar, start to find some of your articles, start to find some of your reviews, take notes according to those questions, and then begin to put everything in proper MLA citation. Okay. If you have questions or concerns, please let me know. If you get stuck, more than likely it's because we're not doing the right searches. Okay. We can't just, if I come over here to Google Scholar and I type in night, it's going to be limited. Like obviously the book comes up first, but then you've got tons of other things like sleep theory, the orbit of the sun. Like you've got to be a little bit more specific. So sometimes, you want to add in the author, you want to add in maybe the words like article review. Maybe you want to add in the terms like literary criticism. Okay, you can do that as well. There's lots of other things. So if you get stuck, let me know. A couple of you guys last semester had the opportunity to say, hey, I can't find anything on my poet when we did a poetry project. And I did a couple Google searches, sent you some links. And I can do that here if you guys get lost or confused as well. Okay. So take the time, ladies and gentlemen, to get started with your article reviews. Email me, message me if you have any questions or concerns. Happy hunting. I'll talk to you guys soon.